Hello and welcome to Winning Wednesday. I'll tell you, these days are going by so quickly. It seemed like it was just Sunday, but we're back to Winning Wednesday. And I hope that you found a way to win today, not only for yourself, but that you were a part of winning a winning team or a winning concept or helping someone else win or even listening to someone else who had a winning day or a winning attitude or they actually accomplished something today that is very worthwhile to them. So let's just jump right on into it. We're going to go back and have our uh, review. And then I don't have a whole lot to share with you tonight, but I do want to share with you the kind of day that I've had already. All right, so um, got up. Hello, Genevieve. Thank you for jumping on. Let me share my winning day with you. Winning Wednesday. No whining, just winning. Okay. So at 8 o'clock, I got up and I Nicola Jackson's um, Power Start Your Day. And it was energizing, very much so. We talked about the fact that you don't want to let your environment get toxic or it'll be hazardous to your health and to your growth. Then that was 30 minutes of motivation. At 11:30, I got on a training for ERA training on social media, more how to get more followers on Facebook. And that was great. That was another 30 minutes. At 1 o'clock, I listened to a motivational piece by Oprah, and I'm going to share that with you tonight. And that was another 20, 30 minutes. And at 6:30, I was invited to be a panelist for Columbia Housing Authority. And our topic was communication and healthy relationships. And we talked about with the children being at home. Um, it's something for the parents to deal with as well as the children. And they tend to get depressed because they're away from their friends and you don't know what they're thinking and you're hoping that they are doing their homework and not just daydreaming. And then at 8 o'clock, I'm here with you for Winning Wednesday. So I should sleep very well tonight. I've got all of my hours in for motivation. And they say that every day you should have some affirmations and some motivations. So I had one at 8, had one at 11:30, one at 1 o'clock, some training, 6:30, sharing and listening to a lot of other people who have accomplished great things and in the community. And it was just a panel for Columbia Housing Authority. And so now to share with you, we will just have a little flashback from Sunday. We talked about money saving tips and strategies, some real talk about strategies and where we're eating up a lot of our profits. Okay. And we talked about ways to eliminate some debt, how to have some savings goals when it comes to your budget, and to make sure that you pay yourself first and break some expensive spending habits. We talked about looking for ways to save on your utility. And this week has been a great week for that because you really, unless you just want it to be cool or cold, you didn't really have to run your air conditioning like previous weeks. And tracking your spending. We talked about where's my money? Where did it go? When was the last place you saw it? I don't know what happened to it. I made it, but I can't seem to keep it. We talked about a great deal. We saved our last one for best, which we talked about. Are we eating up our profits? And I think that we were all surprised by the amount of money that people spend or that we tend to spend on groceries and on eating out. Then I gave you some tips. It said, again, the average family on a low spends $191 a week on groceries, and the liberal, Laurie, spend 289. So that takes into um, to account those that live in very expensive cities and states where the food or the restaurants and the groceries are a bit higher, or those that just love to eat at exclusive places. And we tallied all of that up, and it was grand numbers compared to what the average person has in their savings account. Um, Chef Gwen gave us some ways, and BCF, reception, catering, and also Tiffany Johnson Gunn gave us some ways that we can feed a family of four for $10 or less per meal. And they were some great ideas, great menus, a lot of them real easy, like spaghetti. Laurie, you remember eating pork and beans and franks and rice, or eating pork and beans and whatever over grits. Um, those from the North may not have had that experience, but those of us in the South, we know what spaghetti is and how to make it last. And Gwen said that can of salmon with onions and seasoned right over rice is an easy under $10 meal. So we talked about all of that, and we talked about pandemic spending. We're going to the stores a lot less. We were visiting the hair salon, if at all, um, a lot less. The barber, the nail shop, the retails, we couldn't shop like we wanted to. So we were able to save gas, but not only gas, but to save money. Um, and we were saving money by not going to the movies and the plays and the concerts. And, you spend money without thinking, like we talked about the concert, be it whoever is coming to town, or you going to Charlotte to see whomever. You usually get an outfit. You try to get decent ticket for good seating. There's a meal either before or after. You get your nails done. You get your new weave. Um, the outfit. And I said $300, but $300 probably would not even cover it. So when we say the average person um, can't seem to save, and they're going paycheck to paycheck, um, there's is some explaining to do when you say you can't save a dime. But in this pandemic, we just talked about ways to cut down on your meals, your utilities, buy in bulk, buy frozen food, um, use your coupons, and spend less than you make. That's the best way to give yourself a raise. Spend less than you make. All right. So that was last week. And we ended that by saying that I think I shared this statistic. The average household for American annual income is $78,635. After taxes, they bring home $61,224. And the average overall, that means people who make great income, people who barely making it, the average savings is just a little over $6,000. Um, and that's their savings account, not savings per year. And so, with that being said, if we're eating out on a minimum of $191 a week, I'm sorry, spending $191 a week for groceries, that's almost $10,000. And if you're a big baller, um, and you do more than that, and you spend around 270 a week, that's $14,000. And the average family eating out will spend $700 a month. People eat out a lot more than you think. So, again, it's something to think about. So, that was what we talked about last week. So, just tonight, briefly, since I got so much self development in today, I just want to share with you. And when you have time to do something special, perhaps you can share it with me. Um, 6 pieces of life changing advice by Oprah. Um, Number one, she says, success is earned. It doesn't just happen overnight. You got to do the work. You got to put in the work. What does it take to be successful? And when you ask people like Oprah and Tyler Perry and some of the others, what did it take? They all started off, or those two in particular, started off with humble means. I started off with not exactly what you would call um, a healthy family setting, dysfunctional. Um, Tyler was homeless at one point. Um, Les Brown had, he was, it was Wes and Leslie Brown, and they were born in a warehouse. And then their mother, I don't know what happened to their mother, but Miss Mamie Brown took the two boys and raised them. And even after Les was having some success, he hit bad times and he was actually sleeping in his office. So success is earned, and not every stone that is turned brings up something very positive. There's some dark sides to bring people into the light where they celebrate success and where we see them as they are and not as they were. Number two, find a way to serve. Greatness is determined by the service that you render. So, the service that you render to others or to the community, to the church, to anyone is significant in the fact that what you leave with them will last. So, find a way to serve. Okay. Number three, align yourself with your dreams. And a couple of sessions ago, we talked about dreaming. We talked about your goals. We talked about SMART goals. We talked about how to write those goals down and how to never give up on your dream, and that you should always be intentional, plan for the future. Your dream, it's a goal with a deadline or with a date can well become the dream that you have for your life. Number four, just be yourself. Be authentic. Keep it real. I long ago stopped saying, I want to be like her when I grow up, or I want to do this, I want to be like them. I may want what they have. I may want to be successful like them, might not even be in the same profession as them, but I don't want to be them because I don't know what it costs them to be them. But I know what it costs me to be me. And if you're not being yourself, it takes a whole lot to pretend. It takes a lot to fake the funk. You need to keep it real. Be for real. I think Teddy Pendergrass had that song, Be For Real. So you can be yourself and still be very significant and very important. Number 5, um, put out positive vibes. Positivity works. Every action requires a reaction. So if you go around putting out negative vibes, frowning all the time, you're a drainer. You don't energize anybody. You're not looking for the good in life. Then you're toxic. You're hazardous to yourself and to your future and to those around you. So you have to watch your environment. You have to watch your environment. You need fresh air. You need a sound mind, and you need to think. And sometimes you got to think outside the box. But again, bring out the positivity. When you say, like I said, when you say to somebody, have a good day, have that look on your face, like the conversation we just had when I was a panelist on Columbia Housing. They said, you've got to, is your facial expression or your words more powerful, or do they hurt more? You can give somebody a look that cuts to the core, but if you don't say anything, they know it wasn't something nice, but they don't know exactly how you feel. But the tongue is like a pink tornado. That tongue can tear up things that you can never put back together again. And that's not from what Oprah says. That's from experience in reading and listening to other people, and just having conversation with people. Because you try to fix it, but once it's out there, it's out there. And so, again, when you're talking about relationships, they can be verbal or they can be nonverbal. So be careful the seeds that you sow, because what you put out there, the universe has a way of bringing it back to you. It may not bring it back to your remembrance until too late. So again, it is important how you say, what you say, and when you say it. Number 6, fill your cup. And these are 6 pieces of life-changing advice from Oprah. And when she says fill your cup, everything that happens to you happens for a reason. We don't understand it. Sometimes we don't change it. We don't have any input. We don't have any say-so. But what we do have is the ability to choose how we react to what we go through. And the testimony of through can be a great one, because you don't have to wonder how you got over it. When you go through it, you know how you got through it. And you can either, everything that happens to you, you can figure out, how do I win? What did I learn? And how can I have a better understanding of what this meant for me and my life? So that's pretty much what I had for you tonight. And I encourage you to position yourself to win. It's Winning Wednesday. Position yourself to pick up the pieces during and after this pandemic, because this too will come to an end sooner or later. And do a self-analysis. We talked about doing that 1 to 5 year planning. setting your goals for 1 to 5 years. What is it that I want to do in life? What will it cost me? What will it look like? Who will benefit from me accomplishing this particular goal? So, my question is, what do you want? What are you working on or toward? What's working for you? And what's working against you? And what can you do to change the course of your life if you're unhappy or if you're not getting there fast enough? What is the best way to regroup, recoup, recover, to pivot, to shift yourself into the position that will help you reach your goal? Not just in 2020, but up to year 2025. You got to stretch yourself. You got more to give. I bet you do. Ambition can't be taught. It takes work. Be realistic about what you can do. And you know what? Like Oprah said, success is not something that happens overnight. I see people get into real estate, and the myth is you can be successful overnight, or you can make lots of money overnight. Real estate is a business. You got to operate it like a business. You got to be the CEO. You got to be everything and then more. And you got to be able to work at what you want in life. No matter what it is, you can't give it 50% effort and expect to get 100% success. It doesn't work that way. Real estate is one of those things where if you want to work it, you got to will yourself and get up and go get it every day. And I know that you do something that you know that it you have to pay the price. And then when it says you have to pay the cost to be the boss, that's true. Vonda, thank you for joining us. And Diane, I can always count on Diane to give me a good word. She says the book of James, chapter 3 and 5, says, even so, the tongue is a little member and boast great things. And that's true. And Brother James, he always keeps it right. I mean, he tells you just like it is. And you really, it's no easy way to have great success without working. You got to pray, but then when you get up off your knees, you have to work it like you want it. How bad do you want it? So that's pretty much what I had for you today. And like I said, I had a great winning day. I was able to, like I said, 8 o'clock, I got inspired with Dr. Nicola Jackson talking about your toxic environment. Then I got some training, which I needed on social media. Then I listened to Oprah talk about the success that I shared with you, the 6 pieces of life-changing advice. And then met people. I only knew one of the people on the panel, and we had probably 30 guests on there on a Zoom presentation. And so I learned a lot today, and then with you tonight. So thank you all so much for jumping on. And pardon me, Martha, thank you for getting on. And Martha said, you have to tell yourself quitting is not an option. Thank you. I forgot about that. And so, again, if you've not read my book, you know I have a chapter in there called No excuses. Excuses don't excuse. They just prolong the process. All right. And I want to tell you about a boot camp, virtual boot camp that we're having on Saturday. It starts at 9. It's from 9 to 1, more or less about 9 to about 12:30. You'll be finished if you got something to do at 1. But it's going to be a great, great, great opportunity for you to learn about multiple streams of income. Um, we're going to have it on Zoom, and that'll be the first time that I've had it. But we're looking out for the safety of people. And, it doesn't matter how much money you make or how many money, how many streams of income you have. If you're not healthy enough to enjoy it, or even less, if you're not here to enjoy it, then what good is it? So here's what's in it for you. If you're interested in learning more about real estate and how you can make your money work for you, you know how to work for the money. And I'm not telling you to quit your 9 to 5, not at all. But I'm going to show you how to supplement your income. And I'll be teaching the millionaire secrets, and I'll be opening up my vault. We bought our first piece of property 47 years ago, our first personal home in New Haven, Connecticut. And since then, we've owned 160 properties. And I'm going to open up the bottle of secret sauce because I don't want you to have to make any more mistakes than you have to. I don't want you to take any more risks than need be. I'm going to help you avoid the potholes and the pitfalls of investing. Because you know what? It's a risk sitting down in front of this computer. It was a risk sitting on the chair without testing to see if it could hold me or you. All right. So there are a lot of things in life that are a risk. But a lot of people say, I don't invest because it's too risky. I say that if the average person only has $6,000 in their savings account, it's too risky not to try to have multiple streams of income. And so I will share with you how it's done. I'll teach you how to flip without flopping. I'll teach you how to, what you should look for when you're buying a rental property. Location, location, location. But a lot of times people buy the wrong property in the wrong neighborhood. We're going to talk about that. And I will have some individuals that will share with you how their lives have been changed by attending the Making House Money Boot Camp. So go to my website, www.nancyopensdoors.com, and you will find out a lot of information there about the secret sauce. Like I said, I'm opening the vault, and my goal is to provide you with enough information for you to be inspired, for you to be encouraged, for you to have renewed hope that if it happened for us, it can happen for you. And we'll have a lot of time for question and answers. And then I'll tell you about part 2, because we can't take everybody out. That's why we're doing it virtually together. We usually rent a van, or we have a caravan. We're several cars, and we all group up and go into the house together. But you're going to have the chance for part 2, to buy into a VIP day with me, pretty much a half day. And that includes lunch. And we will go door to door, 4 or 5 properties, and we'll have spreadsheets, we'll have our clipboards, we'll work the numbers, and that's part 2. You will get to go into properties, and that part we'll tell you more about so that we don't confuse it with what's happening on Saturday, the 26th, 9 o'clock sharp. Be in front of your computer or on your phone and have plenty of paper to take copious notes, because you will want to know how to make your money work for you while you sleep, while you vacation, You want to know what you can do to position your house, regardless of what's going on in the White House. And you can find out all of this great information for $149. My boot camp usually is $499, valued at $1,500. So you're going to get your feet wet for $149. And I promise you, if you are listening even now, it makes me know that you have some interest. And if you come, I promise you, you'll get your money's worth and more. I got the secret sauce to real estate, and I want to share it with you. So have a good night. Have a good life. In fact, have $1 million life. And make sure you get a copy of my book, The $1 Million Producer, My Journey from the Cotton Field to the Capitol. It's $24. And I promise you, when we talked about Oprah said, be yourself, I am myself in this book. You won't read this information anywhere else. And you'll know a lot more about me because the book is transparent. It inspires, it empowers, it's funny, it's serious, and it has many business principles. And it's only $24. And if you order it, all I need is your mailing address. It will be autographed, mailed to you, and you can pay by Cash App or PayPal or check. All right? So that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for listening. And you ladies, have a good night.